Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Black and I'm from jupitersplayground.com, and I am an expressive arts coach and astrologer with a passion for helping others to understand their true nature and how to live life in a way that is in alignment with their truth. In today's video, we're going to be exploring the fascinating world of archetypal astrology and its connection with personal growth. We're going to dive into the hero's journey, which is a mythical framework, and we're going to discover how it aligns with astrological archetypes. So get ready to unleash your inner hero. Hi, everybody. I'm delighted to have you with me today as we embark on this journey of exploration. We're going to begin by discussing what archetypes are and how they influence our lives. So let's get started by understanding archetypes. First, archetypes are powerful patterns that exist in the collective unconscious. They shape our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors on a deep psychological level. And by understanding archetypes, we gain insight into ourselves and the world around us. So oftentimes archetypes can come up, like, say, in your dreams or in artwork. A lot of times when you're doing sort of intuitive artwork, you don't even realize, like, oh, I drew a dragon. I didn't even mean to do that. What does that mean? So then understanding the archetype of the dragon can help you understand what's really happening with yourself on a deeper level. But also, we're all part of this great big web of je ne sais quoi that's out there. And we all have a connection to this collective, like all of us, in unconscious. So these archetypes, these concepts come through in movies and in stories. We're all connected with these archetypes. So we're going to explore some of the common archetypes and their psychological impact. From the wise old sage to the nurturing mother, every single archetype holds its own significance in our lives. So we're going to start first with the hero. The hero embodies qualities of courage, determination, and the drive to overcome challenges. The hero archetype motivates individuals to face their fears, to achieve goals, and to bring about positive change in their lives. So if you're wanting to, say, achieve a big goal, if you've got some big dreams that you're wanting to see come to fruition, then you want to work with the archetype of the hero. So it can be very helpful to do some artwork with the hero, or to write with the hero in mind. What are some words that the hero would use, and start to embody them so that you can start to experience the hero in your life. The next one is the shadow. We went from the hero to the shadow. So the shadow archetype represents the darker, the more repressed aspects of oneself, which is often related to unconscious fears, with desires, or with regrets. And understanding and integrating the shadow archetype is crucial for personal growth. We heard a whole lot about the shadow all throughout 2020. And I think a lot of people actually went down into, we call it almost like going down into the belly of the beast. It's where all of those unconscious fears reside. So understanding and integrating this, it's not something to be pushed away, but it's definitely something that needs to be accepted and allowed and examined. And, you bring curiosity to the shadow, and that's the way that you're going to integrate it into your whole life, so that you can help others integrate their shadow as well. I think that's one of the main reasons that we're here for each other, right? So the shadow archetype is crucial for personal growth. It helps people confront and transform negative aspects of themselves into their personality. So next we have the innocent. The innocent embodies purity. It's optimism and simplicity. It makes me think of it's the Aries Taurus archetype, you know, that optimism, that simplicity. Simplicity is a keyword for Taurus. The innocent archetype represents the desire for a better, more fulfilling life. It's comfortable. It encourages individuals to maintain hope and faith and an optimistic outlook on their world. Next, we've got the rebel. The rebel stands for individuality, nonconformity, breaking free from constraints. The rebel archetype also inspires individuals to challenge the status quo and assert their unique identity and make a difference. Next, we have the lover, and the lover symbolizes passion, intimacy, and connection. The lover archetype encourages people to experience deep emotional connections, whether with others or activities or the world. If you're doing artwork, you want to bring that into your artwork as well. It's connected with the Neptunian energy as well. It's something that you need in order to follow your heart in life. And finally, this is not at all an exhaustive list of archetypes, but I will tell you that this is just a small sliver of it, but stay tuned if you want to hear a lot more about it. Next, we've got the jester. The jester embodies joy, humor, spontaneity. It's silly. The jester archetype reminds people of the importance of laughter. Oh my goodness, laughter is so important, you guys, and playfulness and finding lightness in life. It can be associated with Mercury and Jupiter, even during challenging times. And so now that we have a grasp on some of those archetypes, we're going to go in and explore how they connect with astrology. Astrology is a study of celestial bodies that are above us. It provides us with a framework for understanding the unique archetypal makeup of ourselves. So during this segment, we're going to dive into the key astrological archetypes and their influences, from the adventurous Aries to the intuitive Pisces. Each zodiac sign embodies distinct archetypal qualities. So in astrology, each planet is associated with a specific archetypal qualities that influence various aspects of an individual's personality, behavior, and life experiences. So here are some of the archetypal qualities, just some, not all of them. Again, not an exhaustive list, but here are some of the archetypal qualities that are associated with each of the traditional planets in astrology. First, we've got the sun. The sun's archetypal qualities include ego, self-expression, vitality, identity, leadership, individuality, creativity, and core essence. In the sun and your hero's journey, it's a free webinar resource that I am dropping the link to below. We explore this even further, so be sure to check that out. And there's a link right below. And the sun is also associated with the hero archetype. Next, we've got the moon. The moon is associated with, I'm sorry, I lost my notes there for a second. The moon is associated with emotions, intuition, nurturing, receptivity, instincts, subconscious, maternal energy, mother. Anything, a lot of times our moon placement will tell us a little bit about our relationship with mother and the physical body. So the physical body is something that is also associated with the moon. Next, we have Mercury. We got Mercury. Mercury is tied to communication, the intellect, adaptability, learning, reasoning, curiosity, information processing, versatility. It's associated with the Joker or the trickster. So I like to say that Johnny Depp is very mercurial. I think he's got Mercury on the in the part of his chart that has to do with his public persona. And I think it's really interesting that he also is well known for his role as a pirate. So next we've got Venus. Venus is, of course, I think everybody is familiar with Venus. It's tied to the archetypal qualities of love, beauty, relationships, harmony, aesthetics, pleasure, values, anything that's Taurian from Taurus or Libran, social connections. Venus is connected with the archetype of the lover, and the lover also embodies all of these archetypal qualities. Next is Mars. Mars is responsible for action, aggression, energy, drive, determination, kind of like the opposite of Venus. So they kind of like go together, but they're like two pieces of a puzzle, right? Determination, assertiveness, courage, sexuality. It is tied to the archetype of the warrior. Next, we have Jupiter. Jupiter stands for expansion and growth and abundance and optimism and higher learning and philosophy and luck and wisdom and all of those wonderful things. It is the greater benefic. It is a happy, happy, happy planet most of the time, unless you're dealing with something that is just going overboard, like choosing too many things. That Jupiter can be responsible for that as well. So it is tied with the archetype of the Hierophant, if you are fluent with tarot, or the sage or the teacher, a priest even. Next we have Saturn. So the archetypal qualities for Saturn are discipline, responsibility, structure, limitations, authority, maturity, perseverance, life lessons. It's tied with the archetype of the father. Yeah, I won't go into that right now. I could totally go off on a tangent. Let's not do that today, Toni. Okay, next we've got Uranus. Uranus is tied with innovation, change, revolution, unpredictability, progress. It's like an earthquake. You know, earthquakes are very Uranian. Any sort of weather disasters, a lot of times the weather disasters are tied with what's happening with Uranus. Especially if Uranus is placed in an earth sign, as it is right now. So it's also tied with individuality and unconventional thinking. Its job is to help you think outside of the box so that change can happen. Very, very important. It is tied with the archetype of the rebel. Next, we have Neptune. Neptune is tied with imagination, spirituality, dreams. Ooh, helps me go wee. Idealism, compassion, intuition, mysticism, art, transcendence. So the artist or the dreamer is tied to Neptune. Next, we've got, and finally, we have Pluto. Pluto, its archetypal qualities are transformation, regeneration, power, rebirth, intensity, deep subconscious forces, and healing. It is tied to the shadow, and we talked about the shadow. So each planet's archetypal qualities contribute to the complexity and the uniqueness of an individual's astrological chart, shaping their personality, their life experiences, and path of growth. So astrologers analyze these planetary influences, and that's what I would do if I were reading for you. I would analyze these planetary influences in your birth chart to gain insights into behavioral patterns and strengths and challenges and potential life directions. There are oftentimes more dominant archetypes that we can see in people's natal charts, and it helps to give us some insight as to how they see the world and how they respond to the world around them. So next, we're going to talk about the hero's journey. The hero's journey is a mythical narrative pattern. It resonates really deeply within all of us. It represents our quest for self-discovery and personal growth. And interestingly, the stages of the hero's journey align with astrological archetypes. What? It blew my mind when I discovered this, and then I had to create an entire free webinar about it, which I am posting below. But you may have heard of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and that is a template for storytelling, and it's found in cultures all around the world. It's one way that all of humanity is tied together. It outlines the hero's path, and which is filled with trials and growth. So we're going to connect this to astrology and see how each stage aligns with specific astrological archetypes. So let's take a closer look. First, we have the call to adventure tied to the Aries archetype. And Aries has to do with adventure, with new beginnings. So you receive the call to adventure. There's Aries speaking with you. The second step of the hero's journey is the refusal of the call. Now, if I was in my bunny slippers on my couch, I would not want to move away from the couch. It's very, very difficult for me sometimes to get off of the couch and out of my bunny slippers to go do something with my friends. So the refusal of the call is tied to the archetype of Taurus. Taurus represents the resistance to change and the reluctance to leave the comfort zone. Next, we have meeting the mentor, which is tied to the archetype of Gemini. Gemini embodies learning and meeting a mentor figure. They're very, very curious. Maybe they're like, maybe I do want to do this journey after all. All right, what would be the worst that could happen? So they're going to be curious, and curiosity is a very good Gemini word. So they're going to go out and they're going to start exploring. Next is crossing the first threshold, which is tied to the archetype of Cancer. And Cancer aligns with leaving the familiar, stepping into the unknown, daring to do something that's different. I could go way into Cancer, but I'm not going to do that right now. Next is tests, allies, and enemies, which is tied to the Leo archetype. Leo is responding to Cancer, and Cancer is, getting out into the world. Leo is, here I am. Leo is also tied with the sun, and it represents facing challenges and gathering support, gathering resources, figuring out what is available to you. Next is approaching the innermost cave, which is tied to the archetype of Virgo. And Virgo embodies planning and strategizing. Here's my puppy. She wants me to throw her toy. Planning and strategizing. I don't know. Virgo is not going to be comfortable with just going for it. Virgo has to figure out, has to look at the plan and say, this is going to work. I can see how this can work. But there's a snag right there. So it's very, very important to have that Virgo stage. Next, we have the Ordeal, which is tied to the archetype of Scorpio. So, and of course, there's Libra. There's a lot of course, there's more zodiac signs to go through, and I do explain that in the webinar that is linked below. For the archetype of Scorpio, the Ordeal, that is when you're at the very, very bottom. You're at the belly of the beast. And it aligns with intense trials and intense transformation. It's probably the most painful part of the hero's journey, Next, we have reward and seizing the sword, Sagittarius. Sagittarius represents gaining wisdom and reaping rewards. Next, we have resurrection. So next, we're going to talk about Capricorn. Capricorn is a the timing of Capricorn season is very, very interesting between December 22nd and January 19th. And Capricorn embodies overcoming challenges and rebirth. Next, we have returning with the elixir, which is tied to the Aquarian archetype. So the Aquarian archetype aligns with sharing newfound knowledge and gifts with all. And that's just a little nutshell. I do go into that again, way, way, way more in depth in the webinar that is linked below. So join me as we explore how astrological archetypes correspond to the stages of the hero's journey by visiting the link below. And it's going to lead you to sign up for a free webinar entitled Your Sun and the Hero's Journey. And from the call to adventure to ultimate transformation, we're going to uncover the archetypal elements that guide us on this profound journey. So now that we understand the connection between archetypal astrology and the hero's journey, let's explore how we can empower our personal growth. So recognizing and integrating our dominant archetypes provides us with valuable insights into our strengths and our weaknesses. By aligning with our archetypal potential, we can embark on a transformative journey towards self-actualization. So if you stick around in the coming weeks, I'm going to share tips and practices with you to help you embrace your archetypal potential. I also have a really, really fun 30-day artistic archetypal journey. Feel free to reach out if you would like to take a look at that, or I might just post it below. Who knows? So as we wrap our exploration of archetypal astrology and the hero's journey, let's recap the importance of embracing this knowledge for personal growth. By understanding our archetypal makeup, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and of our purpose. So I encourage you, each of you, to explore your own archetypes and to embrace your inner hero. Realize and expand your potential and embark on an extraordinary journey of self-discovery. Thank you so much for joining me today, and be sure to click on the link below that's going to lead you to the webinar, The Sun and Your Hero's Journey. And again, I dropped the link below. I'm also going to drop a link to a blog post that's going to go a little bit deeper into this content. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with others who might find it helpful. Until next time, remember to embrace your archetypal potential and unleash your inner hero. Have a great day.